Not a great angle. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, morning. Good morning, afternoon. Yes, I'm in Manasquan. I am getting ready to go into the city for a business meeting and a quick dinner, and then I'm coming back to New Jersey, so it'll be a quick into the city for a 3 o'clock meeting, 5 o'clock dinner back. Anyway, it is lovely to see everybody. Ann Wilson was amazing last night. If you like Heart, she is just phenomenal. And I absolutely love her and cannot get enough of her. And so, for those of you on the West Coast, it is morning. For those of you on the East Coast, it is noon. So I am on the East Coast right now, so it is afternoon here. This is not a shirt, this is a dress. I think it's from Zara. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys really quick about vulnerability. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and as they were talking to me, they had tears in their eyes. And it was a conversation about the two of us and our friendship and some potholes that we've hit on our journey, and just, you know, what it means to allow yourself to be vulnerable with people that matter to you and relationships that you want to prioritize. Vulnerability is so hard because essentially what you're saying to someone is, this is the real me and these are my real feelings. Please don't destroy me. Because you're giving somebody the opportunity to take your feelings and your truth and shit on it. And that is terrifying. Terrifying. But there is no way to have a meaningful, truthful, honest, solid foundation, friendship, relationship, whatever, without a certain level of vulnerability. I'm not saying that you have to go like become some sappy, like, let me pour it all out to you, but oh my gosh. There is somebody that I know, that I've known for a long time, and they have been extremely self-destructive. Like me, but worse. And in repairing that, he has had to be extremely vulnerable in his honesty about his anger, his pain, his violence, and it has been the most refreshing thing. And that's how I know therapy really works, because there's no way he would have gotten to that place of vulnerability and honesty and apology and truth if he had not been in therapy. That I could tell you right now. So, but anyway, I digress. My point is that if you want a relationship to have a solid foundation, think of vulnerability like concrete. You can't have like a really strong foundation without a certain level of vulnerability. That's why when people are like, why do you always cry on Coffee Talk? Well, first, I don't always cry. But when I do cry, it's simply because there's a certain level of trust here, and I can be vulnerable with you guys. And you do know that I'm a mess and a work in progress and a major fuck up, and also someone who is healing, and also someone who is trying harder. But it is very hard to be like, listen, I am going through it. Because we're all in some stage of going through it. You may not be going through it like a massive storm right now. You may just have drizzles. You may just have clouds. If you're lucky right now, it's sunshine. If you're really lucky, it's the rainbow. But everybody is in some stage of going through it. None of us get through this life without some shit. We all make mistakes, and we love to go like, your mistake was bigger, your mistake was worse. But that really isn't, that's really to say, if your mistake is bigger, that means my mistake wasn't as bad. Mine was less bad. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? Unless you're Jeffrey Dahmer and you are literally kidnapping people off the street, killing them, eating them, and keeping their heads in your freezer, we are all on the same playing field. We are all out here making mistakes, going through it, trying to figure it out. And it is hard to be like, listen, I am a sinner. I make a lot of mistakes. And by the way, let me tell you something else. I make a lot of mistakes with my eyes wide open. I'm not the girl that's like, I didn't know what I was doing. No. It's less I didn't know what I was doing and more I don't know why I was doing it. My journey is about learning why I do the shit I do, why I befriend the people I befriend, why I jump into shit so fast. Like, I'm out here trying to learn, like, what the hell was that decision? Why did you make, and you knew you were making the decision, Jamie. Why did you make it? Because these people who are like, I know not what I do. I didn't know. You knew. You knew. What you need to figure out is why. And when you can get honest first with yourself and then with other people about why you do the things you do, then you can heal and continue your journey of growth and betterment and all that great shit. So, the way you build trust with people is through vulnerability. I've lost a lot of people. Those of you who have been with me since Coffee Talk started, I have introduced you to plenty of friends that I have lost along the way. I have made mistakes in my marriage. I have made mistakes with my children. I have made mistakes with my body. I have made mistakes with my relationship with God. And I continue to go to therapy, and I continue to talk to friends and people, and I continue to try to understand why I do the things I do. And by the way, if I don't ever figure out why, I'm going to just keep doing it, and people are going to stop forgiving me. That's just the truth. Show my new tattoo. It's right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's Olivia, Max, and Charlie. And you know, when we do these videos, you guys always say, you know, you comment things like, we're all a work in progress. We all make mistakes. We all do this. But sometimes I wonder, if you knew about the mistakes I made, if you would be as forgiving. Because I think it's our nature to want to be like, yes, girl, we all make mistakes. We all do this, when we don't know the details or the level. But if you really knew the mistakes I made, if you really knew the way I hurt people, if you really knew the shit I stepped in, would you and could you still love me? And that is real vulnerability. That is getting to a place of saying, okay, let's take it one step further. I've made mistakes. I've hurt people. I've done this. Now let me share with you some of what I've done. Can you and could you and would you and will you still love me? Because that is really the way that we get vulnerable. We like to be on the surface, right? We don't want to know too much. Okay, girl, I know you did some shit. That's cool. But what if I tell you what it was? What if I tell you how I hurt people, how I bullied people, how I abandoned people, how I've ghosted people and broken their hearts? could you and would you still really love me? Because vulnerability is not just blanket stating, I make mistakes. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Everybody makes mistakes, Jamie. You're not Jesus, right? But I have been the Judas in people's story. You need to know that. I have been Judas. Oh yeah, yes, your friend Jamie has made some grave fucking mistakes. I have done some grimy shit. I have gotten in the gutter and run with the Judas. I have led the Judas. I have been yucky and gross to people. I'm not saying I do that right now. I'm trying to be better. But some people would leave me. There are people on Coffee Talk right now who only love me because they don't know how bad I've been. The second they find out, or the second they learn something about me, or the second somebody comes forward with a, let me tell you what she did to me, they'll be out. Unconditional love is hard. It takes a lot of vulnerability, and not everybody is built for it. I guarantee if a girl from my past came forward and was like, 10 years ago she did this or whatever, 200,000 people would be like, I'm out because she's not who I thought she was. No, I'm not who you wanted me to be. I have always been this Jamie. I make mistakes. I'm not good. I never killed anybody, by the way, or like did anything like that. Like nothing crazy. I'm just saying like never make me goals. Never put me on a pedestal. Ever. I wear my cross to the side because I am still on this journey with Jesus. I am not ready for this. I'm telling you, I may not ever be ready for that. Look, I was telling y'all, vulnerability is the only way to have real, honest relationships with, thank you, Justin. Thank you, Lainey. Vulnerability is the only way to have real, honest relationships with people that you want to have relationships with. And by the way, Amanda, my love, I have had to be painfully honest with Michael. He's had to be painfully honest with me. We have had to look at each other both at home and in therapy and say, what I did to you is so wrong. I'm not being hard on myself, y'all. I'm just trying to say that the reason why I think I still have wait, hold on. Joy said, only those who understand will be okay. You and I had a rough start at FTHS, but I still love you. Joy, did we go to high school together? Forgive me that I don't know if we did. And if I was mean to you, I apologize. But I think the reason that Michael and I have made it this long is because we do that. We do say, I have to let you see the ugly parts of me. I can't be out here pretending I'm the perfect wife, and he cannot be out here pretending he's the perfect husband. Not even perfect. Fuck that. Like sometimes 50%. Sometimes you're not even giving me 50%. Period. That's just the truth. And sometimes I have to look at him and say, I have not been even a 50% wife to you. Let's talk about it. It's scary. It's scary to say, okay, I'm going to take my hands off look at all my warts and shit. That is scary, but that is how you learn the people that are going to stay no matter what. And I'm not talking about abuse, like you need to stay and be abused by somebody because of no, that is not what I mean. You all know what I mean. I'm talking about, like, I can only use my, yes, Nancy, no, I did not dye my hair. I can only use my, the friendships that I have, but like Courtney is a great example, right? 30 something years now, 32, I don't know. Since 1990, 1991. But we have gone through it. I love you, Courtney, but I do not like you right now. She has looked at me and gone, stop. Stop preaching to me. Stop coffee talking me. You're not my mother. Like, we have had to go through it. Okay? But then we say, the reason I reacted this way, the reason that I lashed out at you is because I have triggers about this, or I struggle with this. And being able to do that with each other is why we can get to the next phase of our friendship. Vulnerability is hard. You were a senior. I was a freshman. You were friends with my brother. My name is Megan. What was your brother's name? And I hope I was not mean, but I probably was. Keep in mind, my senior year was probably the hardest year of my life. Anyway, just, that's it. I just wanted to share that with you. That if you are struggling with connecting with people or getting relationships a little further down the road, you need to see if you are self-absorbed. Well, thank you, Donna. Thank you so much. Mike Welsh was your brother? Oh, he was so cute. Wait, does that mean Mr. Welsh was your father? Because he was super cute. I love Mr. Welsh. Oh my goodness. Anyway, totally inappropriate to be like your dad was super hot, but he was. Anyway, now I'm distracted thinking about Mr. Welsh. Let me get that out of my head. Okay. Out of my head. Oh, Nicole, hot. He was hot, right? Mr. Welsh was hot. Anyway, vulnerability is hard. It's very hard for me. Oh my gosh. She said, yes, he still is. Well, yes, of course he still would be your dad because, oh, you mean still hot? I love it. And your parents' marriage is one for the record books, by the way. Could he love your mom any more? I love that. Anyway, sidebar. You guys are all like Googling Mr. Welsh, Freehold Township High School. By the way, do yourselves a favor. He was fucking hot. Anyway, I'm working on the vulnerability thing, okay? And I'm not always good at it, but I try. I do try. And I just wanted to remind you that it's an ingredient of a solid relationship. So like a cake requires some sugar if it's going to taste good. Relationships require vulnerability. So just try it. All right. I love you guys very much. And I hope you have a great, great day. And this is not a shirt. This is a dress. Hold on. I don't know if you can. Let me stand up. You see? It's a dress because I have a meeting. And I got it, I think, at Zara. I think it's from Zara, I think. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.